What is happening? What is happening? We back at it once again.
You gonna keep stealing my intro?
Man, go ahead, man. You taking too long.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome back to another episode of Cultivated Ignorance. I am Will, the host. That is Mike. He's nobody. This week, we've got two dope guests. Host of the Centaur Views podcast. We got Vic on the, I don't know. There you go. Wave. And we got No Sense on the other side. I don't know.
You don't know where he at.
On this side.
There you go. This week we got a dope show lined up for y'all. We're gonna be talking about all the people who need all the canceling. We gonna be talking about Lana Del Ray. We're gonna be talking about Joe Biden, who might need to be canceled. The verdict's still out on that. We're not gonna get into the saddest week for Black people of all time. It's pretty high up there in terms of the white fucker we've been dealing with as of late. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a dope show. We'll be talking about. We're not doing this Eminem thing, right? Because we can't add the more white fuckery of the week.
He didn't do nothing. He just out here.
Yeah, man. So, you doing this Patreon?
You can do it real quick. I gotta make a change real quick.
Oh, okay. Well, if you don't know, your boys with Cultivated Ignorance, we got bills associated with this beautiful show we put on for y'all. And we got a Patreon. So if you like, love, support what we're doing, and if you have the money to spare, it's only $5.
Only $5.
Y'all did it.
Y'all did it. Good
Only
job.
$5. We got different tiers: 5, 15, 25, and 50. At least that's what my thing say. The screen say something different. There's a $50 level that's
down there. It's down there. He's scrolling down.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, man. I think the top 2 tiers come with ads. Oh no, top 3 tiers come with ads. So yeah, man, check it out, please. All we asking for is the $5 joint.
That's all you got. You can give even less than that if you want.
Even less. So please make sure you go check it out. We got exclusive content on there. Our weekly Insecure reviews are on there, and we're adding more and more stuff all the time.
All the time.
See, look, it's locked for y'all right now. See, if you click that join now button, you can see all of it.
You can get in on the goods.
Yeah. So yeah, patreon.com/cultivatedignorance.
Yeah, man. Wonderful stuff. Well, how y'all doing today? Centaur Views.
We good.
Black and highly favored.
I felt like y'all didn't know right at first. Like y'all looked at each other for confirmation. Like,
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
A long week.
What y'all got going on, man?
Nothing, man. Just trying to keep up with the podcast and stay sane and keep the white friends we still have.
I ain't got none. Oh, I might got 1.5, but yeah.
they need to be worried about keeping us.
I know, right?
Right.
I feel like, I'm a fond believer that you do need some good white friends in your life. Like they're very beneficial. But
I bet.
She said, "I bet." Yeah, we just want to tell everybody about you. I mean, we wanted you guys to tell everybody about yourselves a little bit, about your podcast. What made y'all want to start it? Who's it for? What did y'all kind of hope to achieve with it? Like, can you just give people like a general synopsis of who you guys are?
Well, I'm Victoria, also known as Vic, Victoria the God, and
I'm No Sense. And we've been trying to come up with a podcast probably 2 years.
It's been longer than that.
Yeah, it's been longer. But
that's back in
But our podcast, when we were listening to other podcasts, there were very minimal as far as our voices. And then if it was, it might be someone like Amanda Seals who had a female's perspective. But it wasn't a woman's perspective.
I told you about that.
But there wasn't a man on the show. And so we
like your mom just now. I done told you about that shit.
We just decided that we wanted to combine both a black male and a black woman opinions into one show.
Right.
And so we discussed topics that, are relevant to our age group, our generation, things that affect us. And we're both very opinionated, being Sagittarius. That's where we get the Centaur from. And so we just hope that we can start a discussion, at the end of the day. That's all, we want.
Yeah, and our views are not always cookie cutter, and we gotta have like very extreme views on certain things. So I feel like we want to make people laugh and think and feel great about themselves. That's our goal.
That's dope, man. And I think it's beautiful. I'm not familiar with No Sense. We just now meeting like virtually, but like me and Vic been friends for quite a while now, and I already told her like I'm mad proud of her because she started going out of her box a couple years ago with first writing the book and everything.
That's so beautiful.
Coming onto the
I was
portrait.
inspired by you, inspired by your endeavors.
Oh man, don't make me cry on camera because I appreciate you, but no, we always need more voices. That's why me and Will started this podcast because we felt like a lot of online black voices were kind of performative with their blackness a lot of times, or they would just regurgitate what everybody else was saying. And some points do need to be reiterated to different platforms, but sometimes I feel like black people feel like they got to say certain things just to fit in or just to be liked or get the likes or whatever like that. So me and Will the same way. We just try to be different and be funny at the same time. Right. And have something that's just different to talk about, man, than what everybody else talking about. So definitely glad to have y'all, man. I told Will we're gonna ignore his opinions because we all Sagittarius here, including our awesome.
Nobody cares.
Dad. We're gonna mute his mic real quick. This is a Sagittarius celebration, man. We just dope like that. Like, what's y'all's favorite parts of being a Sagittarius? Like, what do you love about being your zodiac sign?
For me, I know it's walking my own path and not being a follower. Like, I'm a rebel without a cause, so I'm down for the fight.
I believe, yeah, no, that's very true about you.
Yeah, I feel like kind of the same. What we believe in, like, you're not going to change a Sagittarius opinion unless you bring facts to the table.
Right.
So I love.
That means we're right all the time.
That we're going to stand by our word. And I love being able to portray something to someone and have the conviction for them to believe that that's truly how I feel. Some people you can read fake and stuff like that. With Sagittarius, we just brutally honest, man.
Realist.
Give it to them straight, man. Straight up. My favorite part is just us being hilarious. You know what I'm saying? We just the funniest.
None of y'all Negroes.
Say what? You might be.
You better get jumped.
He get beat down.
So like, real quick, I'm looking at the traits for Sagittarius. And they say Sagittarius are smart, caring, deep, honest, and wild. Y'all believe all that's true?
Yep.
The wild part?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we suffer from overindulgence.
Very. Did you not hear our Responsible Hope podcast?
I ain't heard that one yet.
Yes.
It also says y'all negative traits are impatient, careless, boastful, attention-seeking, and brutal.
No, that's
Yep.
fake news.
Sounds about right to me.
I can't subscribe to all that stuff. That's a little bit too much. That sounds like I'm damn near shitty human being. I don't know about that.
So out of y'all, which one is more impatient?
I'm a pretty
I
big
am.
Yeah.
I have children, so yeah. I have an 8 and a 12-year-old. I have zero patience. Like none. On time.
I believe that.
No,
Which one is more boastful?
I am.
Golly.
My name is Victoria the God on Twitter and Instagram.
I believe in myself. I just don't need the whole world to know it.
Oh my God. I'm okay for everybody to know it.
All right, which one is more brutally honest?
Ooh, that's equal right there.
That's equal because you ain't got no, man, you got no.
I have no filter.
No sense.
In the name, right?
Right. Very fitting.
I'm glad we got y'all on the show, man. We're gonna debunk the Sagittarius are the best sign and all that. So
yeah, we definitely are.
It's okay, Will. Your time is already passed. No more Taurus season.
no, it was just here.
No. But yeah, man, we're gonna get it popping. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Kendall, Aunt Ann. I'm gonna say Aunt Ann like y'all know my aunt. Tacola, Sunday, the Trail. Marcella hit us with the caca. What's up, Marcella? Thank y'all for joining us, man. We're gonna have fun. I guess we're gonna start off talking about Vic's favorite singer in the world, Lana Del Ray.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Beyonce. How this bitch try to call for Beyonce?
Well, did she really?
She said Beyonce is her peer. Beyonce is not anybody's peer, first of all.
Oh my God.
Let's be clear. Miss Lana, Karen Ray, whatever her name is.
She does like a Karen.
She
like
sounded like a Karen.
Lana Del Karen?
Lana Del Karen. She fucked up when she said Beyonce's name, first of all.
Well, first of all, I don't know. Well, all right, let's first of all just kind of give people perspective if they don't already know. So Lana Del Ray, if you don't listen to her, she's like a kind of a popish kind of singer. She sings about a lot of like sad shit about being, used and abused by men and everything. But usually in like it's like kind of lighthearted sounding music. And it's really good, like, kind of juxtaposed in a way that's kind of catchy, but
you better say juxtaposed.
Huh?
I said you better say juxtaposed.
I was a smart Negro. Yeah, she's been doing that for a while now. That's kind of how she got on. And apparently she's been listening to her critics who feel like that she's setting women back with her lyrics about just being in these bad situations with men. And that's kind of been her whole lane. So she put out this this Instagram post talking about now that Doja Cat, Ariana, who's not black, Cardi B, Kalani, and I don't know why she names out Beyonce, but Beyonce, now that they're singing about similar things, like is she
on the same level? That's why.
What'd you say?
I said they're on the same level.
Who?
You trying to get us canceled?
Lana Del Ray and Beyonce.
You can't escape Beyonce. You can escape Lana Del Ray.
I've never heard one of her songs. Like,
hey, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know who Lana Del Ray was before this.
You never heard of Lana Del Ray? Come on, man.
I've heard of her, but
I thought she was a porn star. To be honest, I
can't.
Y'all just being petty at this point. Tashana said, "Fuck her Karen ass."
You gotta be. Shout out.
Jeremy said, "I thought she was an actress." Well, they thought she was a porn actress, Jeremy. So who can blame you here? So I mean, I feel like she was kind of listening to her critics too much. But my main point is like, should she even be comparing her career struggles with that of women of color, as if they can be the same? Like, Beyonce is popping right now, but people don't criticize Beyonce, especially with the whole formation thing at the Super Bowl. People come for Cardi B's neck all the time. Is that even logical to compare your struggles as a white singer to that of people of color in the first place?
Not only that, I think her biggest mistake before she even compared her, was you address the haters. Beyonce and Cardi don't do that. Nicki don't do that. you know,
No, I will say Nikki
You talk to her
negative
all the time.
she does it out of pettiness because she's a Sagittarius
She's
as
a
well.
Sagittarius. She's
Oh, God, y'all niggas is really the worst, man.
Of course she's going, but not in the sense of.
Yeah, you can't compare yourself when you stepping out of pocket because they wouldn't do anything like that. B is not worried about what somebody else doing. Cardi ain't worried about, you know.
And it's not like Beyonce that hasn't been singing about Jay-Z cheating on her since day
Lemonade.
1. So, like, I mean, what are you talking about? And Cardi B's the whole album. Did she not listen to these people's album? Like, I don't know, but yeah, no.
You about to say something, Will?
I'm about to say, I think she's just like, we're gonna say Karening this whole thing, but
she did. She really did. Like,
yeah,
and she
like,
could address her own peers, like Adele, Taylor Swift. Why are you bringing out the black women's name in there? Like, why you ain't point out their stuff?
And like, no sense is right, bro. Like, if she hadn't addressed the haters, like, this wouldn't be an issue. Like, just keep making your music, making your money. There's always gonna be people to talk shit about what you're doing.
It ain't like the Beehive or the Barbs or what's Cardi's little people called?
The Barb Gang.
The Barb. Is it? I don't know.
Gang?
Yeah.
Cardi Gang. Why
Cardi
they
Gang.
didn't come at you like your music is trash and setting women back. If anything, those are your white people. Like we like shaking our asses. Like what the fuck?
Mary J been doing it forever.
Right. We like that shit. We like the struggle. Unfortunately, but we
At the
do.
same time, though, like I don't think she was trying to compare her struggles to that of Cardi and them. I think she was more so saying like, this is just a different side of all women's story. So y'all don't give people over there on the shaking ass, sexualizing themselves side. Y'all don't give them shit no more. So why am I getting
That's
shit?
not true though. Men talk shit about the Cardi B's and the Meg Thee Stallions, and they talk about the City Girls all the damn time. Like I don't know what her
argument was false, but in the sense, yeah, her argument was false because yes, people talk shit about everything.
Right.
She was saying like, okay, if y'all gonna address this, then y'all need to like leave me the fuck alone because everybody else doing their own thing. Like I don't disagree with that. Like if you feel so attacked, Karen, that you need to come out here and make this whole post about this thing. Okay, sure. Fragility is a part of feminism. Fragility is a part of the women's movement. I guess being exposed like that and saying you've been in abusive relationships. I've never heard her music, so I don't know if she's like celebrating it or saying like this is just a part of relationships or whatever.
Right.
But if you want to tell that story and you want to say it's a part of a woman as a whole, then do your thing. But don't be such a damn victim, in my opinion.
I think it happens when people look at the internet as one big collective voice that has one personality that makes one decision. And so when she's like listening to her critics, she's just only hearing the negativity. Now y'all don't listen to her like that, but she has had a phenomenal career. Like she's been out here in this game for.
I'm sure Karen has.
You know what I'm saying? She's been in this game, I feel like for over a decade at this point. Like she's been in the game a long time. So when you go to just listen to the critics and stuff, it's like that's the whole shit with this internet shit, man. Like who are you actually listening to? Because if you're listening to your fans, you still good. Like it's not like you ain't selling albums out here. It's not like you didn't just have a critically acclaimed album. I think it's called Norman fucking Rockwell or something like that. Like you still selling records. Like so who? I know no one else knows. Who cares? I just say but it's like, why even like you said? Why even feed it? And I think Beyonce does hear like the haters and stuff like that. I think Beyonce does hear that stuff, but she doesn't respond to it. She doesn't give it more power, and that just takes a very strong human being to do. That's not easy because we've been in our feelings as normal people when somebody says something about us on the internet, let alone somebody who just wakes up to like millions of people just been like, you suck every day. Like, I'm sure it takes a lot of strength, but it's like,
and to be fair, like this, I think this the criticism of addressing the haters, it goes across the board. We tell, what's her name? Ari Lennox the same thing. And Wale, like, stop listening to the haters and make your damn music. Like,
man,
I don't
if
know.
Ari don't stop giving these haters power, because I love Ari. That's my baby. When she getting on the live and she start drinking or whatever, and she be
In her fucking feelings.
Huh?
In her feelings.
In her feelings, man. When they had that whole thing where people was calling her like a Rockwaller or some bullshit like that, and she gave that shit so much energy.
I hate you.
Why y'all laughing?
I never heard of that.
You didn't hear
No
about
sense.
it.
Get off the stuff. If you're gonna laugh at my baby, you can leave. You can go. We can just talk to Vic.
Yeah, no, that's Bay too. Yeah, you can't.
Yo, I can't picture her, but for somebody to call you a Rottweiler, that's just funny in itself. I mean, not picking on her particularly. That's just a good name.
This is the last appearance on the show.
I got a question. Where did she come up with this name, Lana Del Ray? Like, this is the most. I've got something in my blood that gives me ethnicity. It's the biggest lie of all time. This woman's name is Elizabeth Woolridge Grant. Like, come on, bro. Like,
She putting on for the culture that she was referring to.
for
I was
real.
like, what
Like,
culture?
bro, it's comical how much her
The
real
culture.
name is nothing like her stage name. Like,
Let me.
So you don't even have culture, but you put on for the culture.
the marketing name.
I don't know what she came up with the name, man. I'm sure she knew exactly what she was doing.
It's a Karen move.
Tequila said she should have not compared herself to a person of color. Also, that's not like Beyonce wasn't in the game for some decades. Very true. Tashana said her music is as terrible as she is. Well,
That's trying to put the keyboard down.
I can't control her.
That's your lady.
I don't know, man.
Hey, Tashana.
How do we? Or should we even be worried about giving, certain artists space to kind of vent their grievances with the game, that come along with it? Like I said, I'm sure it's hard being in the public eye, growing as an artist, trying new things, and then you, of course, naturally compare yourself to other artists and see what they kind of reception they get versus what you get. Like, how do we kind of give people space to kind of sort through that, or should we? In this case,
You need to take it up with her therapist and stay off the internet.
y'all don't give a damn, boy. Y'all the savage Sagittarius.
Take it up with your therapist. Nobody wants to hear it.
What do you think, Will?
No, man, get that shit out of the public eye, man. Like, this shit went from bad to worse. As soon as you open your mouth about your little haters.
Hey, I'm sorry, Lana. I was trying to have a conversation for you. But...
Stop trying to be the devil's advocate.
Oh,
She did
Will,
it wrong.
she got the name because she wanted to sound exotic. She was in Miami when she came up with the name.
Okay, see, and I know it.
Oh, she was probably in Miami with all kind of dinglings in her face and shit. She was like, Lana Del Ray. I'm up here.
Hey, John.
Oh, shit. Donna said, we are no longer explaining anything to whites. Is that how y'all feel?
Being.
Well, all right, this is the last question. Let me put a pin in it. If a white person genuinely doesn't know they did something wrong and they want to get better, like, is it so wrong that they would ask black people, like, what can I do to correct my actions?
It's wrong for to ask this black person. Don't ask me.
Golly, well, y'all Sagittarius suck, man. Y'all don't let nobody grow.
Google.
But I mean, you
The internet
gotta
has
give
like all types of answers, man. The internet has all types of false information out there.
you got to give them credit if they're admitting that they're wrong and they're coming to you, and they're not going to another white person saying, "Hey, how can we?" Because they're not going to have the answer. But if like you a multiple time offender, then yeah, just shut up.
Yeah.
You goddamn habitual line stepper. Like,
Exactly.
Well, you kind of know what you're doing. But like, Will and I have had a friend who has been like, yo, I just don't understand this thing about, what y'all are doing right now with these protests or whatever like that. And I had straight up asked us, and not that we speak for all black people at all, but like, for me personally, I don't put this on anybody else. If you choose not to do it, cool. If you can get paid for doing it, even better. But like,
that's a different story.
if you're asking a genuine question, and I know it's not coming from a place of maliciousness, like I might take the time to do that, because if I want to see change in the world, like I feel like I gotta be part of that change. So if I'm in the mood, if I'm in the zone, You ain't got to do it, Vic. Well, you're not gonna do it.
You see my face?
I'm looking at her face.
We've been friends for so long. I can feel your face.
Okay.
I'm a part of the change by being the change. I can't change other people. It's honestly 2020.
But you can give them the information.
By referring them to Google or Trey, I'll send them to Trey and Mike. There we go.
Hold on 1 second. Let me call my homeboy. He'll help you. All right. Well, sorry, Lana. We tried to give you a conversation, but Sagittarius ain't saying nothing. So figure it out. Guess we go to the next topic. Will's guy, Joe Biden, is out here. He told y'all straight up and down, like, you debating if you're gonna vote for him or Trump. Like, you just ain't black. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You just
that interview was funny.
Did y'all see the interview he did with Charlamagne?
I did. It was hilarious.
I caught that. Yeah.
It was fucking hilarious.
As we look at his black agenda for, his
He
black
was pretty decent until he said
agenda
that.
for Black Americans. What did y'all thought on the interview?
I thought it was funny. Because he took over Charlamagne's video interview.
He really did.
He did not let Charlamagne ask any of the questions that Charlamagne needed to ask, and that said a lot. Like, it said a lot to me.
You really didn't, yo. What'd you think? No sense.
If it was a train, it was off the tracks. Like that just.
He was rambling.
Yeah, it was. You don't go on somebody else's show and take over.
What did he kept saying? He was like, done.
Yeah, like we're not telling y'all what we're gonna talk about. Like, forget what y'all think. Like, you just don't do that. And I think it hurt him because everybody else who was running in the primaries, they were on there first. And they were actually there and giving like honest discussions and opinions.
And made us get to know who they were as a person.
Yeah. And with him, it was basically like an ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I tripped off the funniest thing was that he was like, his wife had to get on the internet. So I'm like, you're Joe Biden, the vice president. Y'all don't got 2 laptops in the house.
You know, old people don't know how to use the internet, man.
You're the vice president of the free world. Y'all only got 1 laptop in the house that y'all can use. And this is y'all king? Like, black people. No, I can't. Joe Biden.
He old, man. He don't know how it works.
That's a problem. We're in a digital age. That's a problem.
Come on now. Trump can't read.
No, but at least Trump know how to tweet.
Don't know how to do that.
He know how to work a dang on laptop. He know how to do in-process press conferences. He do it everywhere. But Joe Biden he had to get off it because his wife had to use the phone.
I don't know. What do you think, Will?
Bro, it was a bad interview. Like, because it was like hella media scripted. Like, it was hella scripted. It was like, all right, well, Charlamagne gonna ask this one question, and I'm gonna talk for about 7-8 minutes about what I want to talk about.
He asked 2 questions. He only got 2 questions. I'm not gonna let this nigga trap me into saying some shit I don't want to say. Saying some shit I was not trained to say. And then it was funny around like the 12-minute mark. It was like, all right, guys, we really gotta go. We really got some voice out of nowhere.
I don't know, some Karen from the back room.
Bro, some voice out of nowhere was like, all right, it's time to shut this shit down.
Like this nigga.
Bro, it was the shortest interview I've seen on the Breakfast Club since the baby shit.
Oh my God.
Like since the joint baby walked out on. Like I've never seen anything shorter. And
oh, baby. Oh, I thought you said the baby. I was like, when the baby?
I might have said whatever. Yeah,
one of the babies.
It was pretty bad, bro. I didn't feel like I gained any insight on who Joe Biden is.
Nope.
I feel like Charlamagne pushed him on a couple topics, and he was like, "Look, what you don't understand is that even though I had something to do with these things, it's really not my fault."
Right.
Basically, what he said.
Like, I had nothing to do with the '94 crime bill. Yeah, you did. Yes, you did.
So yeah, bro. Between that and that lift every voice, that shit long as hell. I read about half of it and I gave up.
But there's
I
no
don't
real
think
solution. There's like no there's no real solutions listed. There's no projection of when what's going to be implemented. It's kind of just like blanket ideas. Like there's no real solutions.
But just so everybody's clear, so Joe Biden does have what he calls himself a black agenda. The name is terrible. It's called Lift Every Voice. He might as well have been like Lift Every Negro or some shit like that.
Very sad.
But the
Very black, a manifesto. Alright.
No, you can look it up. That is just had it on the screen a while ago. But you can go to joebiden.com/Black America. The main bullet points is that him addressing the economic mobility of African Americans and closing the racial wealth gap. Trying to empower the schools with more money, more equipment, more resources of what they need. Strengthen the fight against injustice, systematic racism, stuff like that. Address environmental injustice because a lot of times a lot of us live in these food deserts where we can't get the proper groceries and stuff that we actually need to live healthy lives outside of fast food and shit like that. It discusses a bunch of stuff, but I agree with y'all on that. Like, it's just what I felt like more than anything. And I just talked about this with my friend last night. Is I just don't know how you would do all these things in one term. Like you're talking about just radically changing the entire country for us, but like how much of this is actually possible? How much of this is actually going to fulfill on? There's a lot of questions to be asked. But my question was, if all this was possible, if he was able to do these things, if we actually saw, an actual strategy for getting this done, would it actually matter that he's clearly pandering to the black community so much? Like, does that even matter? Should we just get out our feelings and be like, yo, this will actually help us get to that next level, as a race?
I don't think it matters that he's pandering. Just give us solutions. Like, stop playing with us. And our intelligence. Like, all of that was unnecessary. Like, what he was doing, it was really unnecessary. Just give us the results. Tell us how you're going to do it, and show and prove, because your track record is trash.
Yeah. Good point. It's good show and prove.
She summed it up.
But like, if he's saying I'm gonna prove it while I'm in the White House, so if I can't prove it by going to the White House, would you vote for him?
No.
I mean, I think
I'm Andrew Yang with my guys. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He shouldn't have been the last remaining candidate.
He shouldn't have.
That's the issue. Is the older generation voted for Biden and put him in this position. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, okay, we have to either be for him or for Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that comment to me, it doesn't
necessarily reflect how everyone feels.
No, like that's not nearly half as bad as the stuff that Trump spewed. Even when they addressed the George Floyd situation.
Oh, I can't listen to him.
No, but Biden had a actual resolution of what needs to be done. Trump tweeted, of course, but all he tweeted was the investigation should be fast and I'm praying for the family. Like, you're showing that you really don't give a fuck. And you've shown this for 4 years. So I can understand like him having the audacity to say it. It's just he was not trained on what not to say it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get it. But I mean, why do we expect Trump to be anything but who he is and what he's shown us to be? Though?
But are we okay with that?
I am. Shit, I am. Because I'd rather know who the person is than somebody just trying to like covertly come at me and pander, like, and be something. You ain't black. Like, you ain't gonna do all that. Just tell me how you gonna fix our problems. That's it. Like, I appreciate.
I would rather know the evil I'm dealing with than deal with somebody selling me a dream.
Right.
But
I agree.
but that's what I'm like. If he's saying I can actually make like if he's saying things like I'm committing to having a female vice president or woman vice president, and if I get if I do get the office, I will have a black woman over the Supreme Court. If he's saying these
Well,
things that I'm actually,
you don't control that because you don't know when people gonna die and retire.
So what now? What did you say? Will you got cut out?
Go ahead, Will.
He was saying I'm saying he can't control the Supreme Court thing because he don't know when the people are going to die and retire because it's a lifelong job.
I'm assuming he's meaning like I'm gonna find a suitable black woman to be in there.
And he needs to get the Senate too.
All right.
That's not how it works. He needs to get the Senate too, unless he's gonna do an executive order.
He's
Like
all the
Trump Yeah. I mean, even with the whole, if he was already committed, I mean, it's time. He got time to show and prove, and I agree that we should put pressure on him and ask for what we specifically want. But for him to be vetting other people other than black women, he's already on the wrong track. Like, Amy Klobuchar should not be even like if you are really serious about getting the black vote. And Amy Klobuchar shouldn't even be somebody that you vetting for vice president.
Well, here's let me put this in the chat real quick. So people want to call in, give thoughts, whatever. I guess my question is like, should we? So I think we can all kind of agree that we should be doing the work ourselves to get our lives where we want to be. But the administration can help facilitate that. Should we vote Republican to show Democrats that we serious, like we're not just gonna vote for y'all just because y'all Democrat? Should we just vote Republican until Democrats actually straighten the shit out and actually start to make real change happen?
I think so.
I think so.
So you good with voting Trump?
I don't like being played with. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I think that people don't fundamentally change. I think who they are is who they are. They can evolve and they can grow in thought and stuff, but who they are is who they are. And I don't think that Joe Biden, like, I don't think that he really genuinely cares like that. That's just my personal opinion.
If Democrats started to lose if Democrats started to lose the black vote in major cities like Atlanta, Chicago, all these major cities where like Democrats basically get the whole state off of these metropolitan areas that black people are a part of. Like, bro, they would fix shit immediately. Like, let it be one election where goddamn Atlanta is like all Republican black votes. Like, bro, it would change the game, I think, at least for black people. Like, because they don't respect our vote. Like, they think it's a given. You know what I mean? And another thing with this, it's like I feel like that. Okay, it's another 4 years of Trump. Okay, whatever. We always talk about, hey, things are much more important on your local level, your city level, your state level. We've been preaching that for the last however long. I would mostly say 4 years. But also with that, like, we've been talking more about mobilization, educating ourselves on the way government actually works. And all of this has been because of basically the last 4 years, because we've been going through, this hell that we see. And if we vote Democrat and a Democrat wins, I'm pretty sure a lot of that shit will like start to fade away. Like, we will start forgetting about, mobilization and educating people on government and stuff like that. So, like, bro, if it takes another 4 years of hell for us to, like, really become educated, yeah, like it's worth it, bro. Because that's what a lot of people were saying at the very beginning when Trump got elected. He's like, this shit gonna be hell, but black people will come out of this shit much stronger, more aware, and all this other stuff.
And then I would like to add that, and I'm sorry I'm taking over, but this I really about
Biden.
Fuck you. No, but I would like to add, like, we already agree in agreement that the system that we have right now is broken, and Trump is here to disrupt the system. Allow him to do what he's here for, disrupt the fucking system. Where it's not working. It hasn't worked for any of us. And if anything, like, as far as what I'm seeing is, I know that our medium, what is our income is going to be zero in a few years. Like, if anything, Trump has taught me that it's very important to have multiple income and to get into business. And I think that for what we need as a Black communities, we need resources. We need to be focusing on generational wealth and building a foundation for our future. Because if I think we have to play the game. We can't get away from the game. So instead of just sitting on the sidelines and just complaining about it, like, learn from what our enemies. The art of war. Learn from your enemies and see what they're doing to be successful, and see why they are ahead of us, and use some of their tactics and apply it to our own community.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Just to go through some of this comments, Dakota said some people can't mentally handle another 4 years of hell.
You'll be all right.
Do y'all feel like it's hell right now? This environment that
more hell than we used to.
I feel like we need to learn, like, we need to keep the knowledge of the fact that, yes, change is going to be on a local level. But then when you're thinking about the president, that's somebody that's representing us to the other countries of the world. Trump is, because he's forcing us as America to be an enemy.
Or for us to for the world to finally figure it out that America is trash. Like, we already knew America was trash to us. Like, now everybody's like, oh, we're up in the arms, like, oh, America's we do this and that. I'm like, but we already knew that though.
I'm just saying, as far as foreign affairs, I don't think Trump is somebody that we need to represent us. Because no matter who, if it's Biden or Trump, the trickle down effect, we're not going to be affected.
I don't know if I agree with that, because some of the things that, like, the I forget the name of the bill that he backed out of that we've been in forever. It's like some of that money that we were just spending, like, we were paying way more money than most of the other countries, and I don't know.
Yeah, I remember him talking about that.
And the China virus, you remember the China virus originated in China. Like, let that man, he was right though. He was right. It did come from China.
I do have a few conservative. Well, I don't have a few. I have like maybe 2 conservative friends that are Black, and they're more so the thought of, like, they value results over feelings. Like, in their view, Trump can be as dumb as he wants to be on the mic. He can say all this racist shit. He can say all this dumb shit. But, like, if he's getting shit done, like the prison reform, HBCUs, the tax. I need to do more research on how much the tax, changes affect us as, middle class people. But, like, tax changes to make taxes, easier to file and as well as cheaper. There's one more thing I know. The unemployment rate, which they say is better, but I got to look into that as far as, like, what kind of jobs people are getting. Because if people are just getting these, minimum wage, still like $7-something an hour jobs, like, I don't really think that's a dramatic change for the better. But the unemployment rate for people of color has decreased since this administration has been in place. So,
but at the same time, though, like, I ain't gonna say I'm all for Trump, but I'm not gonna make him an evil person. But, like, the unemployment rate and the economy improving, that shit was already going on. So I'm not gonna give him a whole lot of credit for that.
Yeah, and people are still working like
Obama's right.
Yeah, I would definitely want to do more research on that. But even so, like, they're more of the mindset of, like, I'm just gonna stay focused on the positives. Like, he can be dumb, he's gonna always be dumb. But if this actually changes or actually happens for the better for me, especially as a business owner, like, I just need to stay focused on that. We just need to get out our feelings. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
I agree.
Yeah.
We should all be business owners. Like, really, we really need to be business owners in order for for us to be able to have wealth.
I would say we should all support Black businesses more, because I don't think everybody's meant to be a business owner. Like, is this when you think starting a whole legal business, like, this shit is a lot. It's a lot. So definitely put your money where the mouth is.
You need to have ownership in a business, whether it be stock or something like
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, definitely take stocks in each other's businesses, all that good stuff. We do have one quick call. I think we have a quick call. Hello. This might be Star. I'm looking at the number.
Hi. There's quite a delay for anyone who is confused about that. So
Same delay.
I am, huh?
The same delay that's there every week.
Exactly. So it seems like last time there was a little bit of confusion about why I was asking what you guys were talking about because I'm watching the show and there is a delay. But just to jump in here, because I also have to mute you guys so I can hear the call. There's so much to go on with this. I actually did read Biden's plan last night thoroughly. It was a lot. It seemed a little ambitious for him to try to do all of that in 1 or even 2 terms. I thought it did cover a lot of issues that we do need done. And some of the things that stuck out to me that were kind of immediate were personal protection equipment and a $15 minimum wage for any essential worker, which Black people do tend to be disproportionately essential workers who have to be out on the front lines, which is why a lot of us are dying from COVID more than others, right? Some other things were going on, but I think in general, I'm not gonna say it don't matter who's in office because I do believe that presidents are symbols. I just think that we are leaving on the table a lot of power, individual power. Yeah, I think that we need to look at and give, maybe vote, maybe be aware, but don't become disempowered when someone you don't like is in office. And Trump is harmful. Like, to me, I look at it like this: even if your policies are good, if your representation is racist, hateful, ignorant, most people are only seeing that. Most people are not reading your policies. So the whole of America is more so influenced by the way you carry yourself and the things that you say. It really is unacceptable, a lot of the things that he's said, even if the policies turn out to be beneficial for a lot of people who want to be enterprising, and take part in capitalism. But the point is, it's both. You can't just get by on one or the other. Unfortunately, I think we're in a situation of voting for the lesser of 2 evils. I think we need to explore other options as Black people and also realize that there's millions of Black people. We all don't even want the same things. So there is not going to be a plan that even fulfills everyone's needs. And some people are going to look at a plan that, that maybe stimulates Black wealth or education in one way as another way that we're kind of giving our power away by looking to the system to give us these things when we could do it ourselves. Like, we can educate ourselves at this point. Like, we really can. I don't know about, like, we can learn. Like, you can read or watch a video, because what's the difference between watching a video and somebody standing up in front of you lecturing you from a book you haven't read? So it's like, we have a lot of power. And I think no matter who's in office, we have a lot of power because we have the internet, we have each other. So yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on it.
So would you vote for Trump?
I agree. Thank you.
No, I don't think I could bring myself to do that. Now, I haven't read all of his policies or am not even aware of all the things that he's done while he's in office. I
was just saying, I was asking, was it because of morals? Like, he's morally corrupted?
I'm not. So it's because of the things that it's because of representation. It's because, like, the role of the president for me is like I think they're a symbol of power and not necessarily able to, like, single-handedly do all these things and make all these decisions, right? And push all of these things forward. So I believe that even if he's signing bills that benefit some of us, he still is a symbol and a psychological, like, symbol of hate and division. And I just don't think that that's what we need right now. So I don't spend a lot of time thinking about Trump, posting about him, writing about him, or putting any energy into what he does. I just, from what I have seen, I still say that I don't think that he's the best leader that we could have. I feel like we can do better as a group.
Thank you, Star. Appreciate you, man. That's all very good thoughts, and I agree. I think that's all right. Thank you so much. She ain't no
She's a
Sagittarius,
fellow
but she's a
Yeah,
Sagittarius.
no, shut up, Mike. Shut up, Mike. Vedically, I am a Sag, so I completely understand. And I feel it. So, all right, I'm gonna hang up so I can listen to the rest of your comments.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, bye.
Another bad
Yeah, that's what I was. Well, you shut up. That's what I was saying. Like that's what I usually reply to. Is like we can't just ignore the hatred that is spewing out here because it does mean something. Like when people are tuning on their TVs and digesting this information, and you are looked at as a symbol of the leader of our country, so it does make a difference for sure. And that's what people are saying in the chat. Like you can't overlook this racist, divisive rhetoric for policy. That's what Cole is saying. Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. So we just got to exert every bit of power that we do have. Like Star said, I believe in that. Support one another as much as we can. But I think, having a system in place that does help, that definitely helps. So. Any more thoughts on that at all before we move on?
Nah.
Make America great again 2020. That's all I got.
What?
Well, it was already in there. No, since you got the MAGA hat on, I don't know what you looking surprised.
The hat says goat-ish. This is
You
a black
the goat.
Yeah. That I'm spending money on a black business.
Make sure they see it.
Trump-ish. That's what I read. Trump.
Now you can look them up. It's Hooperville. They're on Instagram and Facebook. It's two black guys that they have their own clothing line. So I support them. So.
That's dope, man. That's beautiful. See, that's what we do. That's you taking the Issa Rae approach, which is just putting on black businesses without even saying, without even doing nothing extra approach. Let's be, me and Will love Issa Rae right now. Like, I mean, we already have before, but like, she's just on her shit. Like, never, like, better than ever right now. She's amazing. Well, speaking of taking, control of your life and possibly starting a business, I know Vic, you said you wanted to talk about the whole rise and grind mentality and how you feel like it can be very detrimental. I think.
I'm tired. That's all. I'm tired.
What you tired, man?
To getting up, rising and grinding. I'm tired. I'm mentally exhausted. I'm physically exhausted. I think that we need sleep. Everybody needs to go sleep.
We gotta build. We gotta make these things happen for ourselves. Ain't no sleep.
Yeah, but in the same sense, I think that even with the COVID situation, I think that we got to put the blame on Trump and everything, but we don't take personal responsibility for not taking care of ourselves. If you empower your immune system, you really, because I think I had it. Like
What? Talk about it. Get out of there. Get out.
I really think I had it, but what I did was,
I ain't tell nobody.
No, I did. Everybody around me knew. I was like, I think I got that thing. Like, I got that thing on. But, no, but I took care of myself. I boosted my immune system. I drank my water. I took my, I detoxed. I did my, I did my lemon water and everything. I think we need to take personal responsibility of taking care of ourselves, especially being in this quarantine and dealing with anxiety and dealing with depressed thoughts. I think that while we're slowing down, like I'm not slowing down because I still have to work 40 hours and homeschool my children. But I think while the world is slowing down, I think that we need to prioritize what's most important. And I think that our mental health, our physical health, our holistic health should be priority for us.
I think that's super important because I think me and Will was laughing about, when this virus first started hitting and like people had to stay home, so you saw the meme floating around of like, if you don't learn a new skill or create a new project, right, or just start a new business during this break, you never had a lack of time. You had a lack of effort or some shit like that, or drive. You never. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I saw the shit and I like dismissed it, but I felt the pressure. Me and Will talked about on the podcast. I felt the pressure of feeling like I should be creating art more than ever because I'm at the house right now, and like I was beating myself up because like I was like, why am I not being creative? Let me get new ideas. What's going on with me? And like, it's wild, man. Like, why do we feel like we have that much PTSD that we have to inherently put that pressure on ourselves? Like, in times where we could just relax and just do.
You say PTSD like you're referring to the? Are you referring to the Black community?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, so do you feel like this rising ground mentality is only within the Black community?
Well, I think it's different with us. I don't think it's only. I think it's different with us because we have the constant pressure of having our own. We got to create our own. We got to build our own businesses, our own, institutions. That's different from like just chasing the American dream. I feel like.
Right.
So that's what I mean by that. Is like it's almost traumatic of how much pressure we put on ourselves and one another. We all know that one, we all got that one friend who criticizes every other Black person who buys like Jordans or chains and shit, or like what they see as frivolous things. A lot of us don't give each other that freedom to just live our lives and just spend the money how we want to spend it and just do what we want to do to just maintain our mental health more than anything, more than just apparently not, just squandering our money. So I don't know what y'all think.
I mean, I've seen it on both sides as far as the work life. People who have been out of job, they haven't been able to go to work. A lot of them are looking at as it's like a reset for them. They were just going to work, not living for themselves. And now, it's almost like even though your home is still a vacation from that regular, hamster on a wheel mentality. And even with kids, students, you go to school 18 years, for high school, all of that, your whole life. Then when you go out there, they say you want to go to college. So then you got to go and so you never really had a break. And so a lot of students right now, they're getting that break. They're not depressed anymore. It's like to them, COVID is a blessing. And I think with a lot of us, it is that pressure of you going online and somebody saying rise and grind. We gotta no, can I just relax today?
No, you can't. That's who was it? Steve Harvey had that I don't know if y'all saw that excerpt on his show where he was talking about lazy people need sleep. He was like
yes, I remember seeing that.
Remember that shit? He was like, why you sleep over here? Somebody who lives on, the opposite coast is waking up and playing the stocks with it like that. Why you over here sleep? They over there reading the trends. They doing their research and stuff like that. Why you over here passed out? Like it was like, I get what he was trying to say, but like we said, when you come from such a huge platform, it can be very detrimental to make people feel like, damn, maybe I don't need sleep. Maybe I do need to just get like 3 hours of sleep.
And he's also speaking from a level of privilege too, because he doesn't have to necessarily deal with a lot of things that regular old folk have to deal with anymore. Like, he surpassed that.
Yeah, I feel like oftentimes when we have a discussion or talk about things, it's like in the most exaggerated way. So like this rising grind thing, we're talking about it in the like no sleep, constantly working, fashion. I think more times when you hear entertainers like Kevin Hart, any of these big celebrities who have made it just through pure hard work, I think more so is oftentimes them talking about like keeping your foot on the pedal, focus on a goal, and really trying to accomplish that. Which I don't find anything detrimental about that. It's just when we talk about your Steve Harveys or your crazy people. My mom had a ex-boyfriend who used to say, Pig only need 4 hours of sleep. Hell, you sleeping so long for? Like dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like, in those extreme instances, it's obviously detrimental. But I feel like for me, the rising ground mentality is just, making sure you got a plan to be somewhere. Whether that's taking care of your mental health, your physical health, or whatever. Just making sure you're setting yourself up to reach some kind of goal. Which I can
agree.
That's the key. Like, where you want to be, or where you feel like you should be, or where you feel uncomfortable. Like, you feel like.
I feel like most people don't.
Well,
right. A lot of people just are going through motions, paying bills, not really having another goal in sight except to just pay the next bill.
But you don't think people feel that though? Like the mundaneness of it.
Yeah.
Some people feel it, but I'm saying like they don't have any desire to get out of it. Like
I think
some people become comfortable in the mundane.
I think I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, you know, when you feel like you're just not at your truest potential, and it's like, what I was kind of getting to is like you gotta get to your own point where you desire more. That point in time might not be the same time for me as it is for you. I think Star said that in the comments as well. But I feel like you feel it. Like, that's what I talk about whenever I do speak publicly. Like, you feel like when I talk about my shows, but I have shows during the week. Like, I feel like you know that the weekend is a very short period of time. Like, it's really not even a whole 2 days. Like, you're gonna use that Saturday to grocery shop or clean or whatever like that. You know, take care of your kids, take your kids out. If you're, you know, religious, you're probably using that Sunday to go to church or whatever. Like, that's really like only like a quarter day. So you know you're not living that entire week, and you just saving all your energy up for this little quarter of the day to have fun. So I would just tell people, like, recognize that and have fun, do something that makes you happy during the week as well. So the point that you realize that might not be coming from, you know, the same time for me as it was for you, but just recognize that within yourself and just know that, you know, you deserve more than just the mundane, going through the motions of shit. But some people are completely fine with that as well, so they're also happy about that. Thaddeus said you grow out of discomfort most of the time. Sometimes it takes a while though. I don't know. Anyway, what do y'all feel like y'all do? Because we run out of time. What do y'all feel like y'all do to kind of just step into your purpose? Other beyond this podcast that y'all just started, like, what do y'all kind of do in your everyday lives to just step more into yourself and just be your best selves?
For me, I think learning something. Like, I just started learning how to sign. Like, I have to learn something new. And being present. Like, I struggle. I don't know about y'all, but for me as a Sagittarius, it's hard for me I struggle with staying present. I was thinking about the next step, and that is a practice of mine that I'm working on now more than ever.
With me, no sense, of course, comes from being a comedian. So even before the COVID, my thing was just brainstorming, coming up with different jokes and observations that as a comedian you only see. So I'm always working. So I didn't have to, the pandemic didn't really give me time as far as I was already doing that. It did, however, give me more time to put things in motion. So I shot more content as far as visualize, like my social media presence. That was pretty much like what that did for me. But I already, Victoria know my story. I've been through the being sorry for myself, and, you know, I've already made changes before that.
Right.
But everybody, you know, I got a kick in the butt a different way. You know, everybody didn't have that kick in the butt. So
I feel that absolutely. And real quick, Star had some really good questions in the chat. She said, with everything y'all just said just now, like, do y'all feel like y'all are in the reset mode or like the grind mode right now? And what are you doing to support that?
I'm definitely not in the reset mode. Well, no, I think I'm in the grind mode because I feel like I have so much, like, I don't have a break. Like, nothing changed, nothing. Like, I'm still, like, I hadn't even have a come to Jesus with my son's teacher. I was like, look, lady, my grandfather just died. I'm working 40 hours. We will get to this assignment when we get to it. But yeah, I think that's where I'm at now is, like I said, being present is actually doing, like, executing instead of just thinking and planning ahead, just being present and actually doing what I need to do.
I feel like I'm in a soft reset, simply because, you know, being that you can't find a stage anywhere right now. So it's made me be more looking into like the social media, using the platform more. Also with the podcast, like investing ourselves into it. Looking at it as not only just something that we do, but an opportunity for the long haul. Our 9 to 5s, we don't want to be doing that forever. So the other things that we work on, you know, that's what we're just now, you know, we're able to put a little bit more time into it. So it's not like a hard reset in my case. So I feel like it's just for people who've been doing what they're doing, is giving them more leeway. It's allowing us to be more creative. And I think for the people who aren't, that's the people who is like, all right, now's the time.
I think that's dope that y'all can kind of be in a little bit of opposite. I mean, I think y'all on the same page with the podcast, but y'all both kind of in different, you know, mindsets, and still just support each other the way we need to. Like I said, just not enforcing one person's, you know, zone on the other person. Yeah, high five, man. Sagittarius is being dope as fuck like y'all do. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. I don't know if I had anything else we want to touch on. I think that's about it, actually. We can go into we can actually shout y'all out real quick. If Dad wants to fill up y'all's podcast real quick. I don't know if y'all want to share any words or any more information about your podcast, how often y'all go on, what's your next episode going to be about, anything like that.
Well, we try to drop an episode every Wednesday. We used to do like 11 o'clock. Now it's just kind of whenever we can do it. But this week, because we were sharing, you know, we were invited to you guys' show, we're actually going to use like this show for our weekly show.
Oh, you don't use us. Okay, that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah, so we'll be back on our regularly scheduled program next week. But it's Centaur Views, and you can find us on Facebook, Instagram. On Facebook, we have a fan page as well as a friend page. And then we post different things throughout that has to do with the topics of the show. So we try to, you know, see if they get like people that continue the discussion after the show goes off.
Oh man. Well, like I'm just happy y'all are just one more black voice on the internet doing your thing. I'm proud of y'all. I know y'all go far, man. Like, I'm just happy to see people just being like, first of all, more black people knowing that this podcast shit is really not as intimidating as a lot of people make it out to be. To be honest with you, it takes work. Don't get me wrong, it takes work to perfect it. Lord knows me and Will had a rough beginning with this shit. But it takes work to get where you want to be. But it's really anything is possible, man. If you want to do this shit, just do it. We need more black voices, black faces, black bodies everywhere. I want to see it everywhere. All over my screen. Issa Rae is really putting black bodies all over the screen right now with his latest season of Insecure. I don't know if y'all been watching, but
yes,
it's been real. So thank y'all so much for joining us, man. We appreciate y'all.
You.
We love y'all.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We're gonna get into Will's thirst of the week. You wanna spill about your lady?
My thirst of the week this week is Hunter Harris. She's actually a writer for Vulture magazine. And I actually stumbled upon her because I clicked like a little Google ad.
What?
It said it was a ranking of every man in Insecure. And I had a huge problem with this list. But she's still dope all the same. Somehow she got it was a ranking of all the dudes, and she got Thug Yoda as the number one dude on Instagram. I mean on Insecure.
I'm not mad at that at all.
I think Jared was number 2, Andrew was number 3. It was whack. But anyways, I read some of her other work. She's a really good writer. She writes for, like I said, she writes for Vulture, and NY Mag. You can check her out on Twitter and Instagram. On Instagram it's Hunter H. And on Twitter it's Hunter E. Harris. So Hunter Y. Harris. So yeah, man, she's got some really great articles. If you click her name, you know, all her articles will pop up. She speaks a little bit about hip hop, little things about she had an article on Kevin Spacey and all this other stuff. So it was really, really interesting. She's also pretty. So that's always a bonus. So yeah, there you go. Your thirst of the week.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, I'm over here typing comments. All right, yeah, man. Beautiful stuff. Thank y'all again so much. Centaur reviews. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you having us.
Thank you everybody that tuned in and gave us all the comments.
Thank you.
The chat was lit. Yeah, y'all. People super opinionated on Lauderdale. What y'all call Lauderdale Karen? What y'all call her? I can't get shit right.
Lana Del Ray.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. We'll be back next week. And yeah, love you guys. See you next time, man.
Thanks.
Y'all.